Hi everyone, and welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing okay. I've had quite a busy few weeks because the undergraduates are now back at university, and that means I have a lot of teaching hours, and it is very difficult to teach talking about some scientific explanation through a mask and a visor at a distance. You end up shouting a lot into your mask and do have a bit of a sore throat, so I do apologise if I start coughing at any point or need to clear my throat during this video. I hope you understand. Anyway, I am going to be talking to you guys about some cozy creations that I have made in the past and I'm currently working on. Seeing as we are in the cooler months now and on our way into winter. So yeah, a good time to hopefully give you guys some ideas about what you could be making. But first, I'm just going to point out that I do have my Remembrance Poppy on. This video is due to go out on Tuesday the 10th, which means that tomorrow is Remembrance Day. So please do remember a minute's silence at 11 o'clock or 2 minutes, depending on what you do where you are. I found it difficult working in a university that people are moving at 11, and it does upset me every year that this is never observed in the places I've been. And I think that there's a worry that in lockdown people will be very much sort of in their own heads, working from home, very distracted, and it might get forgotten again as well. So please do set an alarm for a few minutes beforehand, just to remind yourself that it's coming up, and observe a minute's silence, because it does matter. It's very important. Most people in the country have had people in their families serve in some capacity, whether it has been as a soldier, or whether it was in the Home Guard, or whether it was the women of their family working in the factories or the farms to make food for the country. It has impacted everybody. It does matter still. We do need to remember, and especially because there are also families more recently who have lost people to conflicts. I'm very fortunate that the members of my family that served are still with me. I know that other people are not so fortunate, so let's have a minute's silence on Wednesday. Anyhow, I am going to move on now and talk to you about those cozy crochet and knitting projects I've been working on. So I'm going to start with one that you have seen before. This is the Persian tiles blanket. It is one of my absolute favourite designs, but it is very, very fiddly to make. And I don't know if I showed you guys last time, but I have added the 4th row of tiles to the blanket. So it's the size that the pattern says, but I did want to make it bigger because at the moment it's really more of a lap blanket. But me and the blanket have fallen out over this because this lovely nice light blue here, the pattern for this blanket said you needed 1 ball of this. At the time I hadn't appreciated what size the final blanket was going to be, and so I picked up 1 ball that I had on the shelf that was this colour and I had no extra of, and now that I want to make it bigger I'm struggling because I don't have enough. I might be able to make it 5x4. I'm not sure I'll be able to get much bigger, because even though there's not really much in the octagon tiles, there are all of these little joining triangles and squares to make that have the colour in as well. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough to make it any bigger than 5x4. It was meant to go in the border and I've had to change that up now. I've got just rows of single crochet or double crochet in UK terms, single crochet in US terms, of navy and white, and I was going to do another navy, and I just don't know if that's going to be a big enough border. I might have to come up with a different plan. So me and the blanket have fallen out. Me and the blanket are on a break. And I haven't really been doing much with it recently because it has annoyed me. Instead, I've actually picked up another blanket that I have shown in one of the videos before, and I'm trying to work on this border. I'm not going to pick it up now because it's massive. It is a king size blanket, but it is this one. It's the mood blanket that I made. And so what I'm really trying to do is to get the border finished and the ends all darned in, because there's quite a few of those. There was a bit more than I remember. All darned in so that this blanket is ready for winter, because it is quite cold here and it is a very warm blanket. I've been curling myself up underneath it while I've been working on this border here, and I don't know how well you can see. I've gone with, again, just rows of double crochet in UK terms, but the difference I've done to get this like pinstripe effect, I've been going into the back loops only, and that has left the front loops of each stitch to make this like nice little pinstripe effect. So that is what I have been working on, because I would like to be able to use this blanket this winter to keep warm. So yes, so that is the mood blanket. I did enjoy making that. The idea is that you do one granny square a day, based on a colour that represents the mood you felt that day, and then join them all together to make a year-long blanket. I think it's a very plain blanket. It's one of the first crochet things I had made, and so it's just a basic granny square. But the thing about something like a mood blanket, or other people do temperature blankets, which uses the temperature for a year, is that you can pick your own colour palette, you can pick your own design. So you could just do straight up rows and have a stripy scarf or something, a stripy blanket if you want to do it bigger. You could do a different granny square. There's so many granny square patterns. You could completely do different granny squares, and you could even, if you wanted to be really complicated, like go for 2 moods a day. Because the thing I found is that parts of my days when I was making this blanket were really good and I wanted to do like a happy yellow colour, but then I would turn around and have a really miserable part of the day, and it would be like a couple of hours, and I'd want to put in this contrasting colour, and I couldn't decide what my overall mood was. So you could pick a granny square that you can use multiple colours on, and you can kind of have more of a collection, kind of a bit like Inside Out, where at the end they, spoiler alert, they work together. So you could do multiple emotions in a day. There's so many different things you could do with a granny square blanket that's based on mood. Again, with temperature, you could actually do the low and the high as two different colours for the same day, to do different patterns. So there's so many options. I would encourage people to try, but you do have to commit to it for a year. So it works out quite well, because you're only doing a little bit every day, but you do need to do every day for a year. Anyway, those are the blankets that I have been working on. Before I show you the cushions that I've done in the past, I thought I was just going to give you a little sneak peek into my next blanket project. So here is this lovely, gorgeous sort of burgundy purple colour. As you can see, this is a very small part of the blanket. I definitely need a lot more of these before I have anything that I can wrap myself up in. But this is just a sneak peek, and I'm not going to show you any more of it, because this is going to be a 2021 project, and I'm so excited about it. I have been planning it for a year. I finally sat down and decided what I was going to do with it and how I was going to make it my own, and I'm really excited to make it. I actually earmarked my birthday for the first day that I would work on it, because I was only going to do something I was really excited about on my birthday. And so I'm now looking forward to continuing it, but only after I've finished up some of my 2020 projects. And yeah, I can't wait for 2021, where I can show you progress on that blanket in more detail. So next, cushions. And actually 2 of the cushions are a very similar palette, so just grab them from down here. I am a big fan of these burgundies and wines, and I have to get that little, there we go, all of this sort of nice burgundy colour palette. They are some of my favourite colours. I wear them a lot, and I made 2 cushions out of them because I've just found these colours and absolutely loved them. So I picked up a couple of balls, and it's a really simple pattern. It's actually just a back panel, which I hope you can see is just a simple garter stitch. So these are knitted cushions. It's just a garter stitch panel, and I wanted mine to be button up, so I've actually done a shorter panel as well that just overloops the top there, and can be sewn in. I actually do need to tighten these buttons because they are beginning to get a bit loose. And then the front panel is this lovely basket weave pattern. So you say like 7, you knit 7 stitches, you purl 7 stitches, you knit 7 stitches, and so on down the line, and you do that over the top of each other until you have a sort of a square shaped patch, and then you swap it round. So you would then purl 7, knit 7, purl 7, knit 7, purl 7, knit 7, and you would make another patch, and you just swap it round like that. It's a very simple stitch to do, and absolutely lovely effect at the end of it. So I made 2 of those to go with a nice purple wine shade blanket that I have on the sofa. And then last thing I want to show you is a cushion that is the smallest cushion I have made. And it's also the most expensive cushion I have made. Yes, ta-da, here we go. I absolutely love this one. So this is a crocheted cushion. It is tapestry crochet, and this is the first tapestry crochet that I attempted to do. So why is it the most expensive cushion I own? Well, it uses 3 skeins of Caron and Pantone yarn. This is the yarn that I got on a really, really reduced price. So I picked up quite a lot of it. However, the yardage of this yarn is not an awful lot. And so this panel here, there's 5 colours in a skein, and this is the baby pink and the dusty pink from that skein. And then these are the sort of the dark lilac and lilac colours from that same skein. So this was all one skein, and then this is the second. That's also the second, and then those are the third. So 3 skeins worth of colour to do that. Yeah, so that was quite a lot. And then the border is absolutely lovely. I'll see if I can get it close enough for you guys. It's got this really nice corded effect. I can't remember the stitch for that. But you sort of work backwards, and it just has this lovely cord effect to it. And this pattern is available on Bella Coco Crochet's YouTube page. I will link the video in the description down below. I absolutely love the pattern, and she explains how to do the tapestry crochet really well. Like I say, this was the first tapestry crochet that I attempted, so it is possible for beginners to do this. And yeah, I'd love it if you wanted to give it a try. So I will link that video for you. So yes, I have crammed in a lot of babbling about cushions and blankets for you guys this video, so I'm going to leave it there for today. However, I'm so excited to see what you're making at the moment, so please leave links to your various social media photos in the comments down below. Have you made a cushion before? Have you, or are you working on a really big blanket? I'd love to see what you're up to, because just getting inspiration from other makers is so wonderful. It really has this sense of feeling like a crafting community. And when you pick up things like the tapestry crochet or the granny squares, the possibilities are limitless. That you could learn to design your own tapestry crochet once you've picked up some of the basics. So yes, let me see what you're making, please. I'd love to see what you're up to. And I will leave that video there for today. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you in the next video.